Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, very good morning. It's a great pleasure to participate in this conference and address such distinguished guests. I still remember some of the yearly conferences that was organized by Datamatics a long time back in the field of technology. And specifically, I believe in 2001, it was when we started talking about electronic government or technology in government context. At that time, nobody thought of the internet to have such a profound impact on every aspect of our lives and societies. Since that time, we have seen how the emergence of new digital technologies have radically transformed and changed our lives. The way we think, we communicate and work, and even how we construct relationships. Technology managed to redefine how we characterize ourselves as individuals and as societies. The fourth industrial revolution will take us to new paradigms of realities. As individuals, corporates, or governments, we are all competing today to have a footstep in the enormous opportunities provided in this digital era, a world that has no borders. Technological developments are pushing the bar higher and higher and higher. Unfortunately, many countries around the world are still lagging far behind from coping with the disruptive digitals, as they are struggling with regulating the complex new technologies pushed and imposed by the ever-raising citizens' expectations. On the one hand, failure to cope with digital developments can lead to jeopardizing the competitiveness of the country. On the other hand, it has the potential to hit the pillars of national security and could lead to gradual isolation of the country in the cyber world. Despite massive investments in ICT programs, all countries are not able to achieve targeted results. Why? Simply because technology is pushing the bar. By 2020, it is anticipated that the global spending on digital transformation initiatives will surpass the $2 trillion mark. Let's remember this. Any digital transformation journey that does not touch the life of the ordinary citizen is incomplete and is destined to fail. The success of digital transformation, therefore, is about the impact it leaves on citizens' quality of life. In the Arab world, there is a huge variance between Arab countries in e-government readiness, whereby the United Arab Emirates stands as the 21st and Somalia in the 193rd place with the lowest maturity index in the list. A question that I'll leave you to think about is about whether there is a relationship between countries' digital readiness and the level of prosperity and the population quality of life. Question for the minds. To keep things straight, digital in government is not about automation, but rather about the degree to which it provides a supportive environment for growth. Governments need to view digital opportunities as compelling weapon to address the challenges of the future. In light of the growing population, one of the greatest challenges facing Arab countries is the ability to secure 60 million jobs in the coming 20 years. How do you reckon this challenge is going to affect our societies? Another question for the minds. Distinguished audience, we need to change how we define digital in government context. We need to view it as an enabler to economic and social stability, each mirroring the other. In today's connected world, we cannot consider economic growth without social and political stability, and vice versa. We cannot isolate technology advancements and citizen needs and preferences. As it happened earlier with the internet, some countries tried to ban Uber as an example, but eventually ended up regulating it. Governments are forced to change their traditional thinking in favor of the newly emerged economies driven by technology, or what we call today the shared economy. We see similar scenarios with cryptocurrencies and many others of the like that will eventually impose themselves and force governments and businesses to change. I will summarize here a list of 6 major challenges that need to be addressed by Arab governments to ensure a successful digital transformation. I'll begin with the overused term, lack of agility. Governments require agility in their systems and structures to respond to emerging and future issues. Failure to do so threatens to dispel what has already been spent and transforms it into frustration. Agility needs to be seen as a fundamental to seizing opportunities and the fuel that powers growth. Another associated challenge is the conventional government approach. No longer can look at the past to predict the future. Governments need strong, committed leadership to create an environment that supports innovation and drives it forward. The third challenge is the fast pace of emerging new technologies. The rapid changes are confusing decision makers and practitioners alike. This requires a great deal of attention, focus, and understanding of the impact of these technologies on all sectors to ensure scalability and flexibility in adaptation. Our education system is another challenge. Our curriculums still produce graduates with insufficient knowledge and are inattentive to what technology is offering today. The question still remains how to equip our graduates to be able to steer technology to their favor and in favor of their communities. Cybersecurity is another key challenge that governments should address in light of increasing cybercrimes, frauds, cyber scammers, and identity theft. Cybersecurity is a growing matter of national concern that cannot be ignored. Just for the record, more than 500,000 Facebook accounts are hacked daily. More than 1 million new computer viruses are released each day, with an estimate of almost $1 trillion cost of the global cybercrime. We believe that current calculations of cost of cybersecurity is not measured against economic and national security. This is one of the scariest areas to tap into. The last challenge is about how the revolution in the digital field is shaping our political and social lives with a direct impact on social security and national and social values. Having said that, Arab countries need to pool their resources to promote creativity and innovation through the use of emerging technologies to address future challenges. As Einstein said it once, we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking that created them. First and foremost, Arab countries need to ensure having a framework that aligns digital transformation programs to support socio-economic objectives. More specifically, in the level it supports creating employment opportunities, supporting education quality, and better income. Arab governments also need to ensure proper learning and education systems are in place to support the upskilling and transformation in the labour market. Such programs need to be designed to foster a culture of knowledge and continuous learning that should in turn drive innovation on a national scale. Arab countries also need to encourage the adoption of emerging technologies in the public and private sectors while giving SMEs and innovative new startups a chance to progress. This should come in the form of government financial support to these sectors. The European Union in 2018 allocated a large budget that reaches 20 billion euros by 2020 to incentivize public and private sectors' usage of artificial intelligence in areas of education, health, business, and other critical sectors. This basically summarizes what we call for, ladies and gentlemen. It's a catch-up game. Modern technologies will continue to transform our world. We have no choice but to participate and compete in this race. Not doing so will have disastrous consequences. Let's remember once again, digital in government context is not about automation or improving operations efficiency and effectiveness. It should be measured against the positive impact on our social and economic systems. Thank you very much for your patience and listening, and I wish you all the best and success in your endeavors in improving practices in the digital world that we are living in. Thank you very much.